take a bite out of paranormal romance books. I am your host, Liv Miles. I'm a paranormal romance author whose books you can download for free right now for a limited time only, simply by scanning the QR code located in the center of your screen. Not the center of the screen, the upper right corner. Why am I hearing myself talk? Hey! Sometimes I need to tell myself to get lost. Anyway. Today is a special day because it is the day after, Edgar Allan Poe's birthday. So I guess his birthday would have been more special, but only marginally. So we're going to celebrate that by reading The Raven. And after that, we're going to read one of my own personal favorite short stories by Virginia Woolf entitled A Haunted House. It's very short. It's only like 1,000 words, but it is awesome and well worth your time. Oh, let's see. Has anybody come? Hi, Billy. Welcome. Welcome in. We're getting things situated. All right. And Shaken. What's up, Shaken? Let us take a look. Okay. Everything sounds good. Does it sound good on your end? Am I audible? Nothing crashingly wrong yet? Let me go ahead and do the most exciting part of the stream, which is going ahead and alerting social media to the fact that we exist, starting of course with Discord, and then we'll actually, you know what, I'll start with X and I'll copy and paste it because I'm lazy. And I already had that written. Feel free to tell me how you're doing as I do the necessary things, the clicky work that we all have come to know and love. Okay, next. You know what, I'm gonna zoom in on that chat a bit more so I don't have to squint. Let's see. Shaken says, I never heard of Haunted House. Well, you will. It's very good. It's one of my favorites. It really influenced my writing style pretty early on. But I love The Raven. The Raven's freaking excellent. We are going to enjoy it shortly. Drink. 2 skull glasses. Nice. Gets a skull of lava that makes you howl. Excellent. Anything else? Get your money back. Let me see. Okay, so we have X posted. We are now gonna go to Discord. Which means we get to do fancy copy and pasting work. Cool. Can't just copy it. May I please just copy it? It's my post and I want to copy it. Alright, announcements. I know, this is thrilling. Have any rants today? Oh, you know it. You know it. Because after we're done reading The Raven by Edgar Allan Poe and Virginia Woolf's A Haunted House, I'm gonna talk to you about what makes a good book cover and why indie authors mess it up so frequently. Oh, we're gonna have fun because you wouldn't think this would be a particularly spicy topic, but it absolutely is. People get their feelings hurt, shit gets thrown, Thanksgiving dinner gets ruined. It's a party, man. You gotta be careful. Alright, let's check my YouTube description real quick. We're almost done, I promise. We are almost done. Bam. Facebook, you should be good. I just posted. Post it. Post with the most. Just leave me alone. Get out of here. Let's get the link. But yeah, man, book covers. That is a thing, man. Because there's an art and a science to it. And people completely ignore the art and the science. Hey, it's me. Hey, me. How you doing? Alright, share. One last thing. We're almost there, I promise. Just gotta get that link for the Discord. I'm sure you guys would find it. You could just scroll up and do the things. That's for YouTube. And of course, if you prefer it on Twitch, I'm sure you can handle it, but... Okay, cool. Now that we're all settled in. Okay, let's go ahead and begin with Mr. Edgar Allan Poe, because it was his birthday yesterday. And he is definitely the OG paranormal romance guy. I think he said something to the effect once that there was nothing more beautiful than a dead, beautiful woman. I'm like, you have interesting taste. Interesting taste in women, sir. You like them dead. Go sit over there. You can see yourself out. Anyway, let's pull up the story. I already have it up. It's right here. We're ready. Everybody taking a seat? Just you and me, Shaken and Billy? Nice. That's fine. Okay. The Raven by Edgar Allan Poe. Once upon a midnight dreary, while I pondered, weak and weary, over many a quaint and curious volume of forgotten lore, while I nodded, nearly napping, suddenly there came a tapping, as of someone gently rapping at my chamber door. "'Tis some visitor," I muttered, tapping at my chamber door. Only this, and never more. Ah, distinctly I remember it was in the bleak December, and each separate dying ember wrought its ghost upon the floor. Eagerly I wished the morrow, vainly I had sought to borrow from my book's surcease of sorrow, sorrow for the lost Lenore. For the rare and radiant maiden whom the angels name Lenore, nameless here forevermore. And the silken, sad, uncertain rustling of each purple curtain thrilled me, filled me with fantastic terrors never felt before, so that now, to still the beating of my heart, I stood repeating, "'Tis some visitor entreating entrance at my chamber door, some late visitor entreating entrance at my chamber door, this it is, and nothing more." Presently my soul grew stronger, hesitating, then no longer. "Sir," said I, "or madam, truly, your forgiveness I implore. But the fact is I was napping, and so gently you came rapping, and so faintly you came tapping, tapping at my chamber door, that I scarce was sure I heard you. Here I opened wide the door, darkness there, and nothing more." Deep into that darkness peering, long I stood there wondering, fearing, doubting, dreaming dreams no mortal ever dared to dream before, but the silence wasn't broken, and the darkness gave no token, and the only word there spoken was the whispered word Lenore. This I whispered, and an echo murmured back the word Lenore, merely this, and nothing more. Back into the chamber turning, all my soul within me burning, soon I heard again a tapping, somewhat louder than before. "Surely," said I, "surely that is something at my window lattice. Let me see then what thereat is, and this mystery explore. Let my heart be still a moment, and this mystery explore. 'Tis the wind, and nothing more." Open here I flung the shutter, when, with many a flirt and flutter, in there stepped a stately raven of the saintly days of yore. Not the least obeisance made he, not an instant stopped or stayed he, but, with mien of lord or lady, perched above my chamber door, perched upon a bust of Pallas just above my chamber door, perched and sat, and nothing more. Then this ebony bird beguiling my sad fancy into smiling, by grave and stern decorum of the countenance it wore. "Though thy crest be shorn and shaven, thou," I said, "art sure no craven, ghastly grim, and ancient raven, wandering from the nightly shore. Tell me what thy lordly name is, on the night's Plutonian shore." Quoth the raven, "Nevermore." Much I marvelled this ungainly, foul to hear discourse so plainly, though its answer little meaning, little relevancy bore. For we cannot help agreeing that no living human being ever yet was blessed with seeing bird above his chamber door, bird or beast upon the sculptured bust above his chamber door, with such name as Nevermore. But the raven, sitting lonely on the placid bust, spoke only that one word, as if his soul in the one word he did outpour. Nothing farther than he uttered, not a feather than he fluttered, till I scarcely more than muttered, other friends have flown before. On the morrow he will leave me, as my hopes have flown before. Then the bird said, nevermore. Startled at the stillness broken by reply so aptly spoken, doubtless, said I, what it utters is its only stock and store, caught from some unhappy master, whom unmerciful disaster followed fast and followed faster, till his songs one burden bore, till the dirges of his hope that melancholy burden bore, of never, nevermore. But the raven still beguiling all my sad soul into smiling, straight I wheeled a cushioned seat in front of bird and bust and door. Then upon the velvet sinking, I betook myself to linking fantasy unto fantasy, thinking what this ominous bird of yore, what this grim, ungainly, ghastly, gaunt, and ominous bird of yore meant in croaking nevermore. This I sat engaged in guessing, but no syllable expressing, to the fowl whose fiery eyes now burned into my bosom's core. This and more I sat divining, with my head at ease reclining, on the cushion's velvet lining that the lamplight gloated o'er, whose velvet violet lining with the lamplight gloating o'er, she shall press, ah, nevermore. Then, methought, the air grew denser, perfumed from an unseen censer, swung by angels whose faint footfalls tinkled on the tufted floor. Wretch, I cried, thy God hath lent thee, by these angels he hath sent thee, respite, respite, and nepenthe from thy memories of Lenore. Quaff, oh quaff this kind of nepenthe, and forget this lost Lenore, quoth the raven, nevermore. Prophet, said I, thing of evil, prophet still, if bird or devil, whether tempter sent, or whether tempest tossed thee here ashore, desolate, yet all undaunted, on this desert land enchanted, on this home by horror haunted, tell me truly, I implore, is there balm in Gilead? Tell me, I implore, quoth the raven, nevermore. Prophet, said I, thing of evil, prophet still, if bird or devil, by that heaven that bends above us, by that God we both adore, tell this soul with sorrow laden, if within the distant Aidenn it shall clasp a sainted maiden, whom the angels name Lenore, clasp a rare and radiant maiden, whom the angels name Lenore, quoth the raven, nevermore. Be that word our sign of parting, bird or fiend, I shrieked, upstarting, get thee back into the tempest and the night's Plutonian shore. Leave no black plume as a token of that lie thy soul hath spoken. Leave my loneliness unbroken, quit the bust above my door. Take thy beak from out my heart, and take thy form from off my door, quoth the raven, nevermore. And the raven, never flitting, still is sitting, on the pallid bust of Pallas just above my chamber door, and his eyes have all the seeming of a demon's that is dreaming, and the lamplight o'er him streaming throws his shadow on the floor, and my soul from out that shadow lies floating on the floor, shall be lifted nevermore. Ah, the raven. Hey, Mercy! Hey, no, thank you for stopping in, man. Good to meet you. Don't meet you. I know your ass. Good to meet you here. Stay as long as you like, and if you can't, that's totally fine. Let's see. Panda, you arrived too. Hello, Energy to Hamster. I'm catching up, man. I'm catching up. Just give me a moment. Okay, so we got... Let's start from the very beginning. A very good place to start. Scroll up, son of a bit. Shaken. Okay, you got some. Any rest today? Hope so. Good luck. Billy Bandit says, I love a good poem about a cute little birdie. Yeah, it sure is cute, isn't he? Even if he is driving the narrator of the poem to madness. Too bad this birdie signaled regret and sudden death, continues Billy Bandit. Indeed. Energy to Hamster, also known as Panda, says, out of curiosity, did you see the interview of theoretical physicist Lee Smolin that I posted in your Discord server? I saw it. I did not watch it. I will, hopefully, at some time, perhaps late at night when I'm trying to sleep, go ahead and catch up and watch it. Thank you for dropping it by, Panda. We saw you, Mercy. What's up, dog? And okay, cool. I think we caught up with chat. Yeah, I love me some Edgar Allan Poe, man. I realize that everyone's probably read The Raven, but it's just so good. We should read some more poetry on stream. I think that would be fun. Like, there's some works of Charles Baudelaire. I love me some Charles Baudelaire. He's the original granddaddy of paranormal romance. I realize I'm the only one here who cares about that probably right now. I don't know. It's my show. I do what I want. I do what I want. But yeah, he was actually, he was a big mover in the aesthetic movement, of which Oscar Wilde is a bit of fame for, but he was best friends with Théophile Gautier, who wrote the short story A Dead Woman in Love, and he actually dedicated his book, The Flowers of Evil, Les Fleurs du Mal, to Théophile Gautier. And I didn't read Théophile Gautier on, I didn't read it on here, but I have it on my channel, where I reviewed his book, A Dead Woman in Love. La Mort Amoureuse. La Mort Amoureuse. I just like saying amoureuse, makes me feel classy. Anyway, so before I go any further, be sure to like this video, follow, and subscribe for more content just like this, because what would you do in life if you didn't have streams like this? Thrive? Prosper? Well, that's up to you, not to me. That was a nice reading. Thank you, Shaken. I appreciate you. Our next selection is going to be A Haunted House by Virginia Woolf. Now, when I say that I've read this story a couple of times, I mean probably about 100 times-ish, because for some reason I just hyper fixated on this story when I was like a preteen, and it was one of the gateway drugs for me into getting into classic literature, because it's just so beautifully written. The prose is just so like languid and pretty and ephemeral, and it's just like one of those little vignette slices of like life about a ghostly couple wandering about a haunted house for like 1,000 words, and it's just lovely. It puts me in the mood to write prose every time I get it, and it's just one of those things I took apart reading so many times. Energy to Hampter says, to my understanding, he believes that time and events are fundamental and space is emergent from the difference between events in time, which seems to me to contradict certain interpretations of Einstein's theory of general relativity, which say the past, present, and future all exist simultaneously. And I'm curious what your perspective is on that. You love sounding smart. You don't have to prove yourself to me. You are an intelligent person. I wish that this was a stream about general relativity. However, I'm reading smutty paranormal romance, like the intellectual that I am. But not today. Today we're reading classic literature. Anyway. Yeah, hit that right, like Shayton, that's right. I tell you what, I'll go watch your video about relativity if you go over to YouTube right now and smash that like button. And if you're not subscribed, Panda, I'm scowling at you. This is for you. Only you. Smash the like button. Subscribe to my channel. Thank you. Shaken says James Earl Jones did such a hanging reading once. He did. I seem to remember he read The Raven. You know who else did some good Raven readings? Christopher Lee, who played Saruman, among many other really iconic roles. I think he actually played Dracula too at some point, didn't he? But yeah, he did a boss reading of The Raven. He did read the book Dracula. I've listened to some of that. Very good. And what else? Oh, Kelsey Grammer in The Simpsons, hilariously enough, did a reading of The Raven, and I can still remember Homer like swatting at this bird. No. It's such an ominous poem, but like, I don't know. When paired with The Simpsons, it creates this like comedic effect, because The Simpsons is just not an ominous show in any way. There's a word for this comedic technique. It's called pathos, I believe, where you take something that's either taken seriously, something with a lot of gravitas, and then you pair it with something that's kind of like flippant and silly, like The Simpsons, and the disconnect between the emotions creates a comedic effect. Welcome to English literature, everybody. Let's see. Yeah, I thought I saw Panda said, do you not have a perspective out of curiosity? I'm actually not even, not really. No, actually, I don't. I'm sorry. I don't. I just don't know because I'm not a theoretical physicist, and if I were, the only thing I would know for sure is that I know nothing. After all, in the words of Richard Feynman, that wonderful theoretical physicist, the more you think you understand quantum theory, you prove that you don't understand quantum theory. So I'd rather just bask in my own ignorance and read pretty words. Anyway, A Haunted House by Virginia Woolf. Whatever hour you awoke, there was a door shutting. From room to room they went, hand in hand, lifting here, opening there, making sure. A ghostly couple. Here we left it, she said, and he added, oh, but here too. It's upstairs, she murmured, and in the garden, he whispered. Quietly, they said, or we shall wake them. But it wasn't you that woke us. Oh, no. They're looking for it. They're drawing the curtain, one might say, and so read on a page or two. Now they've found it, one would be certain, stopping the pencil on the margin. And then, tired of reading, one might rise and see for oneself, the house all empty, the doors standing open, only the wood pigeons bubbling with content and the hum of the threshing machine sounding from the farm. What did I come in here for? What did I want to find? My hands were empty. Perhaps it's upstairs, then. The apples were in the loft. And so down again, the garden still as ever, only the book had slipped into the grass. But they had found it in the drawing room. Not that one could ever see them. The window panes reflected apples, reflected roses. All the leaves were green in the glass. If they moved in the drawing room, the apple only turned its yellow side. Yet, the moment after, if the door was opened, spread about the floor, hung upon the walls, pendant from the ceiling. What? My hands were empty. The shadow of a thrush crossed the carpet. From the deepest wells of silence, the wood pigeon drew its bubble of sound. Safe, 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 the pulse of the house beat softly. The treasure buried, the room... The pulse stopped short. Oh, was that the buried treasure? A moment later, the light had faded. Out in the garden, then. But the trees spun darkness for a wandering beam of sun, so fine, so rare, coolly sunk beneath the surface the beam I sought always burned behind the glass. Death was the glass. Death was between us, coming to the woman first, hundreds of years ago, leaving the house, sealing all the windows. The rooms were darkened. He left it, left her, went north, went east, saw the stars turned in the southern sky, sought the house, found it dropped beneath the downs. Safe, 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 the pulse of the house beat gladly, the treasure yours. The wind roars up the avenue, trees stoop and bend this way and that, moonbeams splash and spill wildly in the rain, but the beam of the lamp falls straight from the window. The candle burns, stiff and still. Wandering through the house, opening the windows, whispering not to wake us, the ghostly couple seek their joy. Here we slept, she says, and he adds, kisses without number, waking in the morning, silver between the trees, upstairs, in the garden, when summer came, in winter snow time. The doors go shutting far in the distance, gently knocking like the pulse of a heart. Nearer they come, cease at the doorway. The wind falls, the rain slides silver down the glass. Our eyes darken, we hear no steps beside us. We see no lady spread her ghostly cloak. His hands shield the lantern. Look, he breathes. Sound asleep, love upon their lips. Stooping, holding their silver lamp above us, long they look and deeply. Long they pause, the wind drives straightly, the flame stoops slightly. Wild beams of moonlight cross both floor and wall, and, meeting, stain the faces bent, the faces pondering, the faces that search the sleepers and seek their hidden joy. Safe, 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 the heart of the house beats proudly. Long years, he sighs. Again you found me. Here, she murmurs, sleeping, in the garden, reading, laughing, rolling apples in the loft. Here we left our treasure. Stooping, their light lifts the lids upon my eyes. Safe, 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 the pulse of the house beats wildly. Waking, I cry, oh, is this your buried treasure? The light in the heart. And that is the end of Virginia Woolf's short story, A Haunted House. Told you, it's short, but it is good. I love the taste of that. Let's see. Billy Bandit says, can we get back to paranormal romance, not philosophical stuff? Yep, that would be ideal. Streamlabs. Oh, go away, Streamlabs. We gotta have words with that guy. Billy Bandit says, philosophy is competing with a white noise machine in thing that makes people the sleepiest. Sometimes it is. God. I've tried to read dialectical materialism a couple of times, and it is a boring work. A lot of philosophy is just... Some of it's interesting. It can be interesting, but it's definitely an exercise in patience at times. Shaken says, agreed, Billy. Philosophy is boring. It makes me tired just thinking about things instead of doing things. You guys, you love each other. I know it. All three of you. All right. So, now that we have gotten through our reading for the moment, I'm going to go ahead and talk about a topic that is actually important if you're an indie writer. So let me make sure my microphone's situated here. And I warned you it could be spicy. Depends. I try not to be too spicy. Well, that's not true. That's not true at all. The fuck am I even saying? But let me see. Let me switch. You're terrible. You Billy Bandit says, I'm terrible, LOL. You're just fine. Alright, so final course. Here I am. Me, glorious me. It's a little cut off. Yeah, we're professionals around here, okay? Okay. Quality. Quality is our recipe. Alright, so. I guess I won't bother introduce this as its own little episode because I kind of want to do an actual formal video about this at some point. But, you know. What topic? Oh, Billy. Okay, Billy asks, what topic? So I'm going to go ahead and talk to you a bit about book covers. As an artist, this is a topic that's near and dear to my heart, but also as a writer, because I'm one of those weird freakazoid creatures who not only writes books, but I've begun to design and create my own book covers using my iPad. And I know that they advise indie authors to not create their own book covers, and there are good reasons for this. For one, digital art is its own skill set, and it takes time to get good at it, like any other art. Two, just because you know how to write a book does not mean you know how to sell a book. These are two very different things. A writer has to have permission to take a story and just run with it and be creative and sculpt something worth reading. One moment. Captain Erasmus Storm has arrived. Hello, Captain. Oh, Captain, my Captain. We should read that next. Is that paranormal romance? Maybe I just don't care. Maybe I'll just read whatever I want sometimes. You're not my mom. But yes, either way, welcome. Pour yourself a drink. Sit down. But I was just about to start talking about book cover designs. So just because someone knows how to write a story doesn't mean they necessarily know how to market a story, because these are two very different things. And this in itself is a very spicy topic in the writer community, because when you sit down to write a book, you could either write the book of your heart, you could pour all of your imagination into it, throw marketability to the wind, and just not care what's trending. Don't worry about where it fits, or if it fits at all neatly tucked into a genre. Don't worry about what Amazon categories you're trying to rank in. And you know what? That's fine. That's totally fine. I think that's legit. If you don't care about sales, like, you already know from the outset that your goal is not raking in all the monies. You're not trying to write the next Twilight. You're just trying to express the book of your heart, get it into the world, and feel good about it. That's awesome. Go for it. There's nothing wrong with that. Just be fortified mentally against the fact that the odds are not stacked in your favor if you decided that you don't care what's trending, you don't care what other people like to read. Don't have a sales expectation. Don't be crushed if you sell fewer than 100 copies. It's not a sign of failure. It's just that's the reality of not pandering, you know? Captain Erasmus Storm says, nah, whoever said that probably never did any of what they're telling people what not to do. Maybe, man. I'd have to review exactly what I just said. Oh, you mean like for authors who make their own book covers, perhaps? But yeah, so just because someone knows how to write a book doesn't mean they know how to sell a book, because when you decide to become an indie author, there's a whole lot of skills that you basically have to decide to either teach yourself or to outsource to someone who knows what they're doing. If you're lucky, an author knows how to write a book competently, because even writing is its own umbrella of little sub-skills that all have to be sharpened and refined and work together. The most obvious is you need to know how to put sentences together. You need to know how to actually, read and write, syntax, grammar. You need to be coherent, organized. People need to be able to know what you're saying. But then beyond that, there's the actual story craft of knowing how to plot a book, how to develop characters, how to get your reader's attention and keep it, how to create a satisfying story that leaves people wanting more and entices them to smash that subscribe button. Okay, I can't resist it, guys. I'm sorry. You know me. You know how I am. I gotta do it. Anyway, so there's at least those two technical umbrellas that, categories within writing that you have to be able to do. But then outside of that, you're also your own publicist, your own digital art creator, your own cover art designer, potentially. And after you've written a story that is worth reading, you have to make sure that you are getting it in front of the right readers. And this is where I've seen so many authors stumble. Allow me to tell you my experience with this real quick. I used to do a gig on Fiverr for copywriting. Various copywriting, beta reading, proofreading, whatever. And I have written blurbs and back cover summaries and book jackets for over 100 people, at least. Now, I'm going to just keep it real with you guys. Nearly every book that came across my desk, I would say maybe 5% or fewer actually have potential to make any sort of sales whatsoever. Why do I say this? Because the book was either not written to market at all, and when you read through it and you're flipping through, you can just see that it does not have the developmental work to hold together as a story. It has typos everywhere. It's clearly not ready for publication, and they're already jumping to back cover blurb. 2, they can't answer the simplest of marketing questions, because when you're writing a back cover blurb, my goal is I'm writing your sales copy. So yes, I am thinking about what is going to sell this book. I'm not thinking about your own personal artistic vision and what makes the book special to you, because what makes a book special to the author and what makes the book worth clicking on to a reader and downloading and giving a chance, these are two very different things. And you have to find a way to negotiate between them, and it's actually rather difficult. It is so difficult to explain to authors that your precious book baby is incredibly special to you, as it should be, but no one else knows your story yet. And they won't know it if they don't know where to find it, and if we don't file it in the right place in the market properly and use some keywords and signifiers and branding symbols and other unwritten codes that allow them to decide that, hey, this is the book for me. I am definitely downloading this. This is for me. Acheron Sticks, hello, welcome in. Acheron Sticks says, makes me feel a little better, but still scary. You know what I'm not scared of? You being here. Thank you so much for showing up, dude. And I'm sorry I ignored your wall of text last time. I should have gotten back to it in the Discord. I meant to, because you said some very thoughtful things. I just didn't. Sometimes I suck, man. Yeah. But I do appreciate you, I really do. So, there's this conflict between marketing a book and crafting an artistic vision around it. And I found in my time writing back cover sales copy and book cover jackets for books, this was a wall that I repeatedly hit my head against. And it wasn't, it's hard to just think to yourself, you know what, ultimately they're the one paying me, so I have to do what they want. But I know that what they're asking is not going to sell. And having that conversation with them of like, listen, like, I'm just trying to keep it real with you. Here's what might work and here's what definitely won't. But you're the one who holds the purse. So, and I don't want to hurt their feelings, because people get attached to their idea of what book they're trying to create and how they want to sell it, and they just don't know the first thing about at least two of those things, sometimes both of those things. Nader Hunter, what's up, Twisted? I missed you. I'm so glad you came in. We're talking about selling books and what makes a good book cover and what doesn't make a good book cover. You're right at the beginning of my rant. I hope you're doing well. How is your are you feeling any better? Are you back from Hawaii? I will catch up with you in Discord. Oh man. But this problem that I saw with book cover, or not book covers, with book blurbs and writing the back jackets of books, you could tell too, because when I ask simple questions that I need to know in order to construct the blurb, such as summarize your book on one page, very difficult for them, because they've never even broken down like the structure of their book and whether or not things hold together. What is the scariest thing about your antagonist? Well, what? They've never thought about it before. They weren't thinking about what makes this antagonist actually freaking scary or evil. When I asked them, who is your target audience? Really basic, right? That is a basic question. I cannot tell you how many times people will say, everyone? No one? What's a target audience? I would say that nearly everyone has those three responses, and all of them are terrible. If you do not know what a target audience is, I'm sure that the term itself is a bit self-explanatory. It's the people you're trying to sell this book to, and you cannot sell a book to everyone. You have to pick who you want to market a book toward and select your sales copy and your book cover design in accordance with this target demographic. Really, what you do for any other product, right? I mean, this shouldn't be that mind-blowing. Not everyone is interested in everything. Nader Hunter says, cool, I stay in Hawaii all winter because fuck snow, lol. I basically live here end of October through April, then back mainland for chase season the rest of the year. Yeah, that's right. Don't miss out on the tornadoes, man. Ugh, I'm jealous of the Hawaii. You might get some sweet volcano action, though. That's never bad. A velvet rotting lemon bar appears before energy to hamster. Ooh, enjoy that, Panda. And you got a coffin of fog brewed under a full moon. Whew. Yeah. We're serving it up today. Feel free to get a snack, Nader, just by typing !snack or !drink. I worked hard on these commands, okay? We're very technical around here. But this brings me to book cover design, because a lot of the problems you see with book blurbs and jackets are mirrored in the problems that you see when writing sales copy, because the same sort of considerations just haven't been taken into account. And it was very frustrating to see the covers that these people would show me and to look at their Amazon sales pages and just think to myself, it doesn't matter if I write the most brilliant sales copy in the world for the back of this book or the book cover, because the cover is terrible. The cover is bad. What do I mean by bad? I mean, the artist, no, them too. The author has decided to treat this book as a personal artistic project that needs to represent every little unique detail of their book and smash as many of them onto the page as possible. And they're not thinking about what will signal to the right reader, i.e. their target audience, that this is a book that they will enjoy. They're not clearly signaling to their target audience, and I'm going to keep saying that word. If you don't have one, I highly recommend you get one if you care about sales. And they are just, instead of thinking about signaling to the right reader and throwing up codes that they understand, they're just purely thinking about what they like. Let's see, let me go back down. Nader says, have a lot of volcano footage. I bet that's interesting. I'll have to check in your Discord for that. Captain Erasmus Storm says, as far as book cover art, I'm more than happy to outsource it to someone skilled in the craft. I'm not good at drawing at all. That's why I'm always on the lookout for other creatives. That's how I ended up here. Oh, excuse me. I love it, Erasmus. That's awesome. If you ever need help with book cover art, by all means, hit me up. I'm still putting together a portfolio, so like by all means, just let me know. I'll either hand it to you for free, or if for some reason I'm really strapped for cash, I'll charge you something really ridiculously cheap, okay? But quite frankly, you're here, you're in my Discord family, and I really would rather just do stuff for you guys for free. Besides, it's good practice, right? Like, I just have a deep appreciation for y'all, I really do. Let's see. Let me scroll down real quick. Why does Streamlabs keep trying to run a damn poll? We are gonna talk later, dude. Because I don't see no poll. I'm not voting in a poll. I must have messed something up earlier. Whatever, we'll take care of it. Let me just zoom out real quick. The fartist. Yes, indeed, Captain Erasmus Storm, indeed. Billy Bandit says, do you have any examples of bad covers? Do I ever? I do. Not pulled up on my computer at the moment, but yeah. If you want to see bad covers, like, Amazon tries to hide the ones that are really bad. It wants to show you books that you're likely to buy, but there is a way to like change the page number in the actual URL and just change it to the last page. You'll see how many total pages are displayed. Just change it to that one and you will see the worst book covers ever. Or just go into like Reddit and start scrolling down like the new writers forum and the book covers that they create. Lord have mercy. Like the stuff that people like, sometimes I'm just wondering, like, how do y'all come up with this? How do you do it, man? Let's see. Let me zoom in a bit. Paul's going, can you see it now? Alright, why am I'm just, yeah, you know, Nader. Yeah, you and Panda. Y'all should talk physics. Help Panda. He really has the physics on the mind. Oh my god, why can't I down? Okay, Energy to Hamster says, I'd be surprised if you're not basically knowledgeable about theoretical physics because I believe that physics and philosophy are very related. For example, in that video that I linked in your Discord server, Smolin references the work of Gottfried Leibniz related to space and time. Yeah, well, yeah. Did he perfect the calculus or did Newton? Who knows? You go ahead and who do you think perfected the calculus, Panda? Leibniz or Newton? Anyway. Nader Hunted, Captain Rasmus Stars. I definitely identify with that title, indeed. Billy Bandit, a bad cover to me is something that looks cheap, tacky, and cliche. Indeed. And there are many things that can make your cover look cheap, tacky, or cliche. Certain fonts, colors, bad copy and paste jobs, obvious stock photos, and we'll get obvious stock photos. Did someone say obvious stock photos? We'll get to that in a moment because I am going to talk about my book covers and why I've spent the past week or two creating my own new book covers. And if you want to see my latest book cover, you can go ahead and join my Discord because I posted it under the arts section. So I worked really hard on it, and I've still been working hard on the sequels book cover as well. Let me see. Akron Sticks, we appreciate the help, but your help is worth the investment. I appreciate you, Akron, I really do. But, man, I just like to give back to people who, like, spend their time with me, you know? Like, it's not desperation, it's gratitude. Like, I'm so happy that, like, I can turn on this camera and just talk about what's on my mind, read books that I enjoy or don't enjoy, but, you know, you know how it is. And just talk with people, just nerd out a bit. It's fun. I like it, and I'm so thankful for it. And even if streaming never makes me a dime, it's still something that I am happy I'm doing, and I'm very glad that I started. Let's see. Physics, Energy to Hamster says, physicists and philosophers, to my understanding, both study the fundamental nature of space, time, causality, substance, events, emergence, illusions, etc. All right, good. Well, if you figure out anything useful for me on that front, please let me know, because I'm willing to take any unique sales angle that I can get. Akron Sticks, my book cover is atrocious. Is it? Drop it in the Discord, Akron. I would love to see it, and if you want feedback, or if you want me to, you know, throw something better together for you, then after I'm done with this launch, then in a month, I will gladly make you something, and you're under no obligation to like take a book cover that I make for you. This is one of those things where like you got to be careful, because people get their feelings hurt if you say, oh, you know what, this book cover is not so great, or like, oh, actually, you know, it's great, but it's not quite on brand, or oh, can you change this detail? Like, that's not me. I treat this as marketing copy, which is something that I will continue to talk about. Let's see. Billy Bandit, I feel like all book cover designs should be $50 to $100, and anything more needs to be created in the Adobe packages. There's like 3 that pros use. I mean, Procreate on iPad is also great. It's also a professional grade program that professional cover creators do use to create very expensive covers. You can do a lot with it. Let's see. It's funny because like, you can have all the expensive software in the world, but if you're just gonna make cheap Canva level crap, what's the point? You know, like I never quite understood that when people would be like, oh yeah, I spent so long in Photoshop dealing with this thing, and you're looking at it and you're just like, you could have done this in Canva, man. Like, do you want me to show you? Oh, let's see, I should continue. All right, let me catch up. I'm catching up. I'm catching up. Billy Bandit, oh, and I'd never pay someone a dime if they couldn't prove they made a cover for a book that actually sold well. Sorry, but all artists need to prove their worth of charging. Indeed. I mean, like, you gotta sell somewhere, right? You gotta start selling at some point. I would not start selling in the $100 range. Like, if I make some covers, because I am actually interested in opening a small cover design business after the launch of this book, just because I have spent a lot of time drawing, doing art, and improving my skills, and I guarantee you I can at least make some covers that will get sales. And if you want something particularly, you know, intricate or custom made, you're gonna have to well, pay more for that. But I wouldn't feel right charging someone hundreds upon hundreds of dollars for work that's just so below par, and we'll get to that. Oh man. Let's see. Captain Rasmus Storm says, philosophy can be linked to anything. It's literally thinking out loud in a fancy way. Amen. Absolutely, right? Stand-up philosopher. A bullshit artist. You ever seen History of the World Part 2 with Mel Brooks? That's what it makes me think of. Billy Bandit says, I can see maybe tipping $25-50 tops to people new to cover design. I don't know. Nothing more if they don't have a portfolio of winners. At least a portfolio of quality work, man. Because, like, if you're just starting out, you don't have any winners. You have nothing. You're basically whatever you can put in your portfolio, and people have to judge your skill based on what you have out there, which is why I would keep the prices low, like 50, 25, whatever it is. And then after you have proven that you're capable of making a cover worth a damn, then think about increasing and going up from there. I don't like the idea of gouging people, man. It's my hardest thing about being a businesswoman. Some people are shameless about how much they'll charge and for how little they'll do. I would rather give you like an awesome cover for a low price and have you come away feeling happy and like awesome, like you didn't get cheated out of like $500 or however much they're selling it for. Like, no, man. I had the same issue as a beta reader, because I know that beta readers aren't supposed to like look for typos and point out repeat grammatical issues or notice things like that, but I couldn't help it. I would mark that as I went too, just because that's just how I am. I'd rather be a great beta reader than a shitty editor, I guess. I don't know. I can't help it. I just want to maximize the help that I give. Anyway. Energy to Hamder says, I'm planning on working in finance, so if you can help teach me probability theory, that would be appreciated. I ask because, to my understanding, you've read Taleb's writings related to probability theory and stochasticity. Ha! I've read a bit. I'm assuming you're not talking to me. I've read a little bit of Taleb. I am not an expert on Taleb. His book Black Swan had some interesting points. Although I remember Sam Harris critiquing it and saying, oh, well, it in itself is a black swan from Taleb because most of his work is retarded. You know, I wouldn't know. Not my area. Acheron Sticks. You can just point and laugh. Always do. Acheron Sticks says, ideas and feedback channel? Yeah, sure. Go for it. That'd be great. Ideas and feedback channel. Nader Hunter. Never been much of a fan of philosophy. Yeah, it does require a certain aptitude toward patience, that's for damn sure. Not that you're not patient. Billy Bandit says, okay, fair. A portfolio of work. Something. Anything. I know, right? Like, justify it. Justify why you're charging the shit out of people. How about that? Nader Hunter, I charge as much as I can for my photos and video, but I'm selling to media agencies, not individuals, so that's a bit different in my opinion. Yeah, just for everyone's knowledge, Nader does storm chasing professionally, and he sells the photographs and videos and footage that he takes to, what'd you say, media agencies? And yeah, he's legit on that. So if you ever need like storm photography, there's the guy to hit up right there. His Discord is full of awesome tornado pictures. I still have that oil painting that I did for you of that tornado. I should grab that from downstairs and show it on stream. I'm such an artist. Yeah. Anyway, okay, I caught up with chat. Let's hurry up. I'm going. Book cover design. So one of the #1 mistakes that I see that indie book cover designers or authors, have on their book is that they're thinking about what they personally love about their story and what they want to showcase to the world. These will include objects that are specific to the book but don't necessarily tell you anything about the genre or tell you completely the wrong thing about the genre. Let me give you an example. If you were to pick up a book and you would see a red rose dripping blood, that's the main cover image. What genre pops into your mind for this? For me, that's Gothic romance, paranormal romance, vampire romance, and something, Gothic flavored in that area. Could be an urban fantasy, maybe. But then the author tells you something like, oh, actually, my book is a dystopian game-lit harem techno thriller set in the future, and these roses that bleed blood once a year drip onto your hand, and they allow you to travel through time and give you the power to fight cyborgs who are invading and doing all this shit with the Rockefeller family and all of them. And then before you know it, it's like, okay, so this is not a paranormal romance, and if you put this bleeding rose on your cover, you're directing the wrong readers to this book. It doesn't matter that this image is relevant to the individual story within your book. This is a branding symbol that tells the wrong readers to come to your page, and it's gonna show in your reviews if you get any reviews at all, because they're gonna look at that cover and then they're gonna look at your sales blurb that has all this game-lit harem cyberpunk thriller Da Vinci Code-esque bullshit, and they're gonna be like, wait, what? Mismatch. There's a mismatch between the cover and the blurb. One of these is wrong, I'm gone. Congratulations, you got an impression, you maybe even got a click. You did not get a sale. It did not convert. Your cover and your blurb and your first chapter have to all be working together. They have to be all soundly within the same genre, the same subgenre, the same subgenre. Man, there are some tricky symbols out there, because it's like wings, for instance. When I see wings on a book, that says, okay, angel romance. When you see wings, that almost always means, particularly in the romance category, that means angels. If you see, what's another one? Flowers almost always indicate romance of some sort. Depending. I'm having a hard time thinking of an example of a cover that has flowers on the front and does not indicate romance. What else? You get the idea, right? Don't worry about including little specific details from your book. The point of the cover is not to tell the story. It's to signal to the right reader that this is the fucking genre you want. I can't emphasize that enough. Acheron Stick says, rose dripping blood makes me think vampire or mafia, right? It could be a mafia romance. That could be a thing. That is a category. Absolutely. Nader Hunter, do it. Show that painting real quick. It's fantastic. Oh, I will grab that. I will. Thank you. I'm glad you like it. I'm glad you enjoy my art. Okay, I'm gonna grab that painting. One sec. Okay, cool. Here we are. Let me pull up my screen. So this is the painting that I made for Twisted. Woo! Twisted! You like it? It's a tornado, as you can see, I'm sure, in like a field. We've got some sun glare, so you can't really see all the details. And yeah, I don't remember how long this took me, probably at least several days. Not more than a week, because the paint would dry. That's always fun. But yeah, I love that painting. It is fun, and I can't wait to send it to you. It was based on one of your photographs. Like like I said, you're a storm tracer, and it's really great for making paintings. Okay, let me see here. Okay, so book cover design. Switching gears. I should put my book cover on the screen. I don't know if you'd be able to see it because of the glare. Now, another thing that to avoid with books, right? So you have an on-genre cover. Now, what will separate a mid-list, a mid-tier, like a mid-listing book cover from like an actual professional-looking polished cover is often the stock photography used. High-quality premium covers, particularly in the genre that I'm in, paranormal romance, romantasy, urban fantasy, having a custom-made painted cover is top tier. That's like $1,000 cover territory. Because yes, there are people out there who charge $1,000 for covers. I'm not even kidding. And that's some expensive custom work. It's probably almost all hand painted. If you can't afford that, which most sane people can't, you can go ahead and hire an artist on Fiverr, and you can pay them $50 to $100, and to be perfectly honest, they can do a good job. Nowadays, since we're in the age of AI, I'm a bit more hesitant about that, because when I got my book covers, as you can see below, this was before AI was rolled out in the form of large language models. Large language models, whatever. So I wasn't as worried about them just kind of quickly generating, an AI image and calling it a day. Now it's more of a cause for concern. And as you can see in my covers, like, there's visible stock photography. You got the wolf eyes. I have seen those exact same wolf eyes in so many freaking covers, dude. And even that girl I've seen a couple of times. Not as many times as I would have thought, because she's freaking gorgeous. But, and she's dressed for the part. But, yeah, I definitely have seen both these images around. Believe it or not, that's not necessarily the death knell for a cover. It's okay for a mid-list, a mid-tier cover. It'll still sell. It signals the genre well enough. It doesn't make you stand out in a crowded market, which is annoying. And that's why I've been spending the past week or so completely hand painting and redrawing my covers. I wish I could find a way to show you on that. I actually did post it in the Discord if you want to see it under the arts section, but I can maybe pull it up here. Oh, my screen. I'm competing with the sunlight here, and let's see if we can make this bright enough. Because, damn it, I spent a long time on this, and I'm gonna show it. Okay, cool. So, this is the new book cover that I'm working. Oh, that glare, that's gonna be too much for you to see. But see, it's hand painted. We've got lots of filigree. That metallic filigree took so long. Oh my god, that glare is terrible. Yeah. Lots of filigree, and those roses, you can't tell, but I actually painted them originally the size of my fist in a separate file, and then I copy and pasted the PNG layer over to the actual composition, and so that way they wouldn't lose detail when I shrank them. It took like a week, dude. But very excited about that, and I still have to make the full wrap and make it hand painted. But regardless, stock photography is not necessarily the death of a cover. It can be fine. It can be utilized well. It's just depending on, again, who your target audience is and how well you're trying to stand out, adjust your usage accordingly. Fonts. We have to talk about fonts, don't we? Man. Another thing that I see on cheap or bad covers is just completely inappropriate fonts. Ones that you can't read the title because the color is off. Maybe it's the text itself is just indecipherable and smushed together. Fucked up kerning, spacing. Like, creative text is all fine and good. Are you? I didn't see it yet, Akron. I swear to God, I'm not trying to call you out. Nader Hunter says, breakfast, eating good this morning. We are going scuba diving later today. Nice. Be good. No caves. No overhead situations, okay, dude? I know you love your adrenaline, but suffocation is overrated. Really is. Energy to Hampton says, do you ever plan on reading Atlas Shrugged or The Fountainhead by Ayn Rand on stream out of curiosity? Are there vampire boyfriends? No. From what I've heard about her philosophy, I generally don't agree with her views. However, I don't know if her literature would be enjoyable for me or not. Give it a shot. I've heard that Atlas Shrugged left a lot to be desired, but The Fountainhead was good. If you're into like the virtue of selfishness and capitalism, you know, that might be your bag. She's not my area of expertise, but you know, I know of Ayn Rand. Okay, you could even pull it up and use it as an example of what not to do. I approve. Okay, you know what? I'm gonna try, Akron. I'm gonna try. Okay, what is the best way to do this? The best way to do this. Okay, I'm gonna pull up Discord on my computer. And then I'm going to save the image, and then I'm going to go into my OBS panel, and I'm gonna click the plus button, and I'm gonna add it as a source. Does that sound good? If I'm fucking it up, you let me know. Oh, now I've got to update. Fuck you. I gotta update Discord. It always does this. You know what? I'm just gonna do it the old-fashioned way. And if anyone wants to see your cover, join the Discord, baby. This is where we have the fun. If you want to have the fun, you gotta come and join. Let's go. Let's go. Discord. Feedback. I'm looking. Ideas and feedback. There we go. In my defense, this is just a mock-up until I get it closer to the finishing book. Whoa! Did you make this? Yes, I used AI since it's the only mock-up, but I'm not paying an artist yet. I got you. I'm not going to yell at you for an AI mock-up. Yeah, but I see what you mean. This is hardcore. Yeah, we're going to talk. So, before I critique it specifically, I would like to know exactly what your genre is, the subgenre, as well as the 3 Amazon categories that you're trying to rank in if you're trying to rank on Amazon, which I assume that you are. And then from there, we can dig around together and come up with something that has more sales potential. The eyes, man. What's going on with them? Ah, man. Yeah, and I hear you on the font. But the thing is you know that it's not there yet. We could get this there. We will get you a better cover. It'll be all right. Oh, my recommendation would be you know what, to be perfectly honest though, the example that you just showed in my Discord, as challenging as it may be in terms of, you know, decency. I'm kidding. Marketability, right? In terms of, yeah, that's not a marketable cover. That being said, I've seen worse. I have absolutely seen worse covers, because at least the colors are bright on that one. At least it would have got my attention for the wrong reasons. It got my attention at all. Man. What I would recommend doing is, before you touch design at all, go onto Amazon and decide exactly where your book belongs, what categories. Read through books in genres that you're curious about or that you think might be a fit, and really find what categories and subgenre your book belongs in, and write down this information. Then I want you to, once you figure out like where your book will rank best, meaning where the readers who you think will enjoy this book the most are hanging out, go and look through the top 10 to 20 covers in each of those categories and make a list. What fonts do they use? What color schemes do they use? What sort of images are on the cover? Are there people? Are there men? Are there women? How many? What kind of fonts? What sort of special effects? And just find the one that closest, you know, most closely matches your story. Find one that you don't hate, get some ideas, but base your designs on this. And if you don't feel up to making your own cover, which most people probably shouldn't, because yeah, it is difficult, it is challenging. This is its own art form and science. But just screen cap the ones that you like and send it to a designer who you trust, and then talk about, you know, maybe send them the blurb too. If they're experienced, they might appreciate that. Keywords that you're trying to rank for. This is a science, this is not an art. And then they will give you a design that'll sell more copies, I think. Okay, Discord, go. It's still downloading. It's still updating. Like, come on, man. I gotta try to make sure I don't do this last minute. Oh, now you're pulling up? Discord, I don't need you. I don't need you. I'm done. I am not speaking to you right now, Discord. You're taking a time out. This particular book wouldn't be for sale as it's a fanfic. Okay, well, that's fine. Genres are sci-fi, harem, and the eyes are supposed to be like that because it happens to that character in the story. Ah, okay. Well, here's the thing. You don't care about sales, so that changes things. If you don't care about sales, then it's like, okay, well, yeah, do what you want, dude. Like, it's fanfic. And the people who read that particular fanfiction will be aware that the rainbow eyes effect is relevant to this character and won't be off-putting to them. Now, if this was a science fiction book that wasn't fan fiction, then we would be having a talk. But that changes things a bit. So yeah, another principle that I feel the need to hit on the head is that both as an indie author and as a cover designer, not that I can speak as a cover designer yet, but as an artist, I sure as hell can. You need to get comfortable with the idea that you're gonna have to redo things over and over again. It's harrowing. It's annoying. No one likes it. No one likes thinking, oh wow, this book that I spent like 4 months writing, and that's putting it light. People spend years writing books. It has to be rewritten from the top down. Every last word. Nothing is salvageable. I've rewritten Wandering Wolves Book 3, the book that I'm releasing next month. I have rewritten it 3 times now. From scratch. Salvaging a paragraph here, a paragraph there, maybe. Yeah, I didn't want to do it. I don't want to do it now. I started this trilogy 7 freaking years ago. I'm ready to move on to new stuff. But I had to see this story through to the end because it means a lot to me, and I spent so much time crafting this story and trying to make it the best that it can be. And if that means that I need to fix a major plot issue or character issue by rewriting book 3, then that's just what has to happen. So I bit the bullet and I did it. Now I'm just developmental editing it. I still have some rewriting to go, but we're in the thousands of words now, not 10,000s of words, which is such a blessing. I can't tell you, man. So when I see like new writers and sometimes cover designers saying, I sank so much time into this, I spent a week working on this cover, I spent so long, it's like, I get it, dude. It's frustrating. Here's the thing. This is our job. Every day we sit down with this freaking tablet or this computer, and our job is to create a book cover that sells. If it's not converting, if it's not getting clicks, we didn't do our job. So it doesn't matter how much work you put into it, you will always have the skills that you learned. It's not like you wasted your time, because you did develop your skill set by practicing. It's all practice, and you can put it in your portfolio anyway if you want. It's not like you wasted your time, but it does mean that you need to cut your losses. The sunk cost fallacy is real, where you've just spent so much time and effort into a cover or a book, and you just can't let it go, and you have to go with that version because, no, darn it, I already spent so much time, I already spent so much money. And the best thing to do, in my opinion, is just to say, nope. Like, the emotions have to stay out of this, because this is not an art piece. This is a piece of marketing material, and if the piece of marketing material is not working, you have to fix it. You might have to redo it. Welcome to being an author, a designer, an artist, whatever it is. And there's another important point I should hit on, because like Billy, you have a background in graphic design, right? Like damn near a bachelor's, and you're a talented artist anyway. And I don't have a degree in art. I come from a long line of artists and stuff, but I just like art, and I teach myself a lot. And I have a liberal arts associates, okay, guys? Like, from community college, so bow before me, I am so learned. But, book cover design is its own specialized niche, and just because you understand graphic design, or you have a degree in graphic design, or you're good at art, like, you know, some of us like to pretend that we are, it doesn't mean that you know what sells a book. This is a different field. This is an entirely different field. And it can be learned, like anything else, through studying and learning, but a degree in art history or graphic design or some adjacent field is just not sufficient to understand what will sell a book. Had to get it off my chest. All right, let me catch up on chat. Did I? Okay, good. I didn't fall behind. Excellent. Okay. There's other things. Keeping an eye on genre trends is a big one. Man, because some book cover designs last longer than others. Some are just more evergreen than others. I intentionally got my own book covers designed the way that I did because this is a long-standing sort of design in the paranormal romance genre. Wolf on the front. Okay, we know wolf eyes, so we've got wolf shifters in it. Done. Got a woman who's of the target audience who I would hope to attract, women in their 20s-ish. You got the colors. The color schemes were specifically chosen based on what was best selling at the time, and pinks and purples and blues and oranges, like brighter jewel tones. These are kind of evergreen in the romance genre, particularly in paranormal romance. You do see some interesting trends lately. Like that's why I made mine purple, because it's just that really deep jewel tone is just seems to be really popular with top tier and high end novels right now. Let me see. What else? So there's more that I was gonna talk about, I'm sure. Oh well, I think that about settles it. Always get a second opinion too. Like Billy, you're good about giving me second opinions on things. Like when I was sending you my design, like, hey, that's good, and you told me brighten it up, and I was like, all right. I'm sitting like a gargoyle, guys. I got my legs up. What else? How long have I been streaming? How long have I been on? I don't even know. I don't even know what's going on. I'm just waiting. I feel like I'm on guard for my baby to wake up at any minute now. Ugh. I've been getting up at 3 in the morning for the past week or so now. Like between 3 and 4 in the morning. Because that's just naturally when I wake up like a freak. Waking up before the sun. And that's when I've been doing my developmental edits. And if I can't sleep, that's when I work on my cover. Or I switch when I'm done. When I'm tired with the edits, I do the cover. Sketch around. I've been working on this damn blue jay. I've been trying to sketch a blue jay because here, I'm gonna be a total hypocrite for a minute. Because the main character of my book has a blue jay tattoo on her wrist, right? Now I know what you're thinking, but Liv, you just said you should not try to include every single little personal detail about your book on the front cover of your page. Now you're telling me you're putting blue jays and shit in there because that's what your main character has. Explain yourself, woman. Okay, well. So, blue jays aren't really a branding symbol. Like when I say blue jay, you don't automatically think to yourself, oh, that's a Western sci-fi thriller or something. Like, no, it's a bird. It's a potential motif, and it's going to be very subtle and interwoven in one of the Gothic branches or something. You gotta look close, man. But I spent like 2 days on this freaking bird. It's always a balance between like trying to make your cover stand out slightly, like enough that it can compete and draw someone's attention away from the cover above it or below it when people are scrolling, but not so much that you scare away readers of your target genre. It's like this, like a subtle difference, but not like a huge one that completely blows everything out of the water. Does that make sense? Billy Bandit, multiple opinions are needed for sure before choosing a cover if you want sales. Definitely. Also, even just from a point of view of like your device, because I've had like art pieces look totally different on my phone versus my iPad versus my laptop. So knowing what it looks like to other people is very useful. Also, after you've been staring at the same art piece or book or whatever for like the longest time, you stop seeing things. Like it's like you become blind to the mistakes. Like I came back to that blue jay I was working on yesterday, and I look at it, I'm like, that beak is out of proportion. Like it looks almost like parrot territory right now. Like that's gotta be shrunk. But I had spent so much time focusing on the feathers and getting like all the plumage right, I wasn't even looking at the motherfucker's beak. I fixed it. God bless the liquefy tool. But yeah, that was a moment. You just never know. You always have to come back to a piece the next day. You'll find, oh wow, I didn't realize that mistake, let me fix that. Or you might realize that the thing you were so worried about actually is okay, and you were obsessing for no reason. So having someone else, you know, especially someone with an artistic background or talent, is very useful. Or even just someone who's not you, you know? Get more eyes on your shit. There was a quote from the book House of Leaves by Mark Danielewski, which was, we search and search for the professors, but sometimes we are lucky to find a frosh. A frosh being a freshman. Alright, cool. Cool. What else? There was something else I was itching to... You know, there is the topic, of course, of AI on book covers. And man, that's a thorny one, isn't it? Because personally, I refrain from using any AI in my book covers, not because of some virtue signaling reason, but it is a signaling reason though, because I fear that if I were to put AI on my book covers, assuming I could get, you know, we could just set aside the ethical quandaries for a moment, okay? Let's just talk practical. What that would basically announce to my readers is that, oh hey, you're cool with AI on your cover, this book probably has AI in it too. And that's going to alienate a whole swath of readers because, as you've seen, this is a very controversial topic and people really don't like it. So even if I personally didn't have any ethical questions about it, it would still not practically serve me very well. That being said, I do wonder about the longevity of book cover design, just generally speaking, because AI is rolling in. And yeah, it's new to us right now. What about in 10 years? What about in 20? What about in 50 years? It's hard to even extrapolate out that far, you know? Like, how do I know? I don't even know what 5 years from now is going to look like. Will we even have books? Will fiction be a thing? Then that's a question that hurts my heart to ask. Oh, I hope that books still exist in one form or another. There's part of me that hopes that when the sun undergoes its electromagnetic cycling in 20 years, which it's going to, it will knock out the whole internet for a minute and just fry all the systems, and then we'll be forced to go back to chip and flint. I have dystopian fantasies. But that is a thing that's going to happen in the next 20 years. In case you're not ready for it, our electrical systems could be in for a bit of a ride, depending on what the sun does. Worth looking up. Oh, man. What else? What else, guys? I should probably close, because I bet you my baby's going to wake up soon. But it was great talking to y'all. I have fun. I will see you all in the Discord. If you haven't yet, please feel free to like this video, subscribe to my YouTube channel, ring that bell, and don't forget to follow me on Twitch. It's all good with me. The sooner I get to 1,000 followers on either Twitch or YouTube, the sooner I get monetized, so it does help me out. But no pressure. Oh, and of course, don't forget to read and review my books on Amazon. Gotta do it, guys, gotta do it. Book 1 of Wandering Wolves, a steamy shifter, fated mate, sweet but spicy paranormal romance, is available right now for review, simply by scanning the QR code in the upper right of the screen, and you will see a book that's a section that says free books for my ARC reviewers. Click on it, I'm sure you'll know what to do, and you can download it. And you'll also might be prompted to join my mailing list for free. Which is a great place to get free books. I'm always giving away free books and promotions with other authors. If you haven't seen that, there is a link to my mailing list in the description of any of my videos. I try to make it easy for you. Thank you, everybody. Thank you so much for listening to me. If you remember nothing else, and you're trying to sell a book, and you need a good cover, think about how you can draw your ideal readers to you, not what personally means the most to you. Your book cover is your most important sales tool. And I understand that you have this vision in your heart of what you want it to look like. And hey, if you want to just print like a copy or two for yourself with your ideal book cover on it, I'm not judging. You could do that. Just upload a proof copy with your own personal cover that you like. Order one. It'll only cost you the printing cost. And then you can have that special little cover at home for yourself. You know, that's the real book. And then just put the actual cover. Upload the real cover. That will actually get you sales after that. And then you get to have your cake and eat it too. That's my advice. Farewell, everyone. Thank you so much for swinging by. I will see you next Tuesday. If there's something you'd like me to talk about, let me know in the Discord.
Farewell.